Okay, so here's another video on conducting lit reviews. So basically, I will have identified a paper that I used in the snowball principle and kind of found papers that might be related. I just want to say that sometimes you have to use a lot of different keywords and combinations of keywords to find papers that are relevant. I almost always use the terms marketing or consumption together with other terms that I'm looking for. You might want to use the terms decision making or even psychology, given that Google Scholar is a collection of academic articles across all different all fields. So sometimes if you just put in status and consumption without consumption, you might get a paper from sociology or from economics or something completely unrelated that you can't do anything with. So just try out a lot of different keywords and kind of start collecting potential papers. Ideally, you can see a download button here, but sometimes it actually happens that I can't download a paper directly. If that's the case, I click here and I look at the citation and I save the citation, and then I go to the Harvard Baker Library site and download my article by clicking on Find Books, Articles, and More. And then I go to Hollis, which is a database of academic articles that entails the Journal of Consumer Research and the other top journals on marketing. And then I put in my title that or the citation that I just copied. And then I can actually usually download it from there. So I click on View Online. And then I'm able to download it here. That's it. All right, so once I've found my papers, and I've downloaded all of my papers, I obviously still want to kind of keep track of everything. So what I do is I create a folder of a project, and I end up saving all of the papers that I found. And I download it and kind of like collect my papers there. What I also do is I create a Word document and I save the title or the citation, which I got from Google Scholar. And then I also save the abstract. So if you do a lit review, it's good to kind of have the citation here and the abstract because that will remind you of what the paper entails. I then try to skim the paper. And this is obviously once I've already identified papers and kind of try to see what is relevant to my research question. Obviously, reading a paper takes a lot of time. So what I usually do is I just look at the different headings and kind of try to figure out, is this relevant? How is this relevant? Sometimes they'll write out the hypotheses, so I kind of skim the hypotheses. And if I'm lucky, they might even have some sort of a graph of the theoretical model, which is great because that kind of gives you a general idea of what this paper is about. So here I already know that, oh, okay, this is about something that manipulates the busyness at work versus a leisurely lifestyle. And then it measures the status inferences. And it seems like a mediator here is human capital inferences and in-demand and scarcity, something like that. So I'm not entirely sure what this is about, but I at least know, okay, so it manipulates time, it looks at status, and I have a mediator. So even by not really reading this paper, I already have a general idea. I can even look at the graphs, and I kind of quickly get a good idea of the paper. I can look at all of the graphs here. Here I know, oh, okay, so it seems like they manipulated maybe the country, and then they also manipulated working lifestyle, and they measured status inferences. And it seems like maybe here in Europe, working and busy lifestyle is actually lower in status, whereas in the United States, a working busy lifestyle is higher in status. So that's kind of what I do. And then later I'll try to read the paper and I'll show to you how to read a paper. But again, when I collect an initial lit review for a paper, what I actually do is I try to find papers that are related and I just copy paste everything into this Word document. Because the goal of an initial lit review is not to get a really detailed view of the papers, but it's just kind of to figure out if the idea is even novel at face value.